Good evening, everybody. Just getting set up. Just waiting for some people to get on. We're just kind of chilling out here. Just people get on. Had some phone calls today. Trying to sort through some things with some people on some different Baler stuff. So hopefully see some friends on here tonight. This is becoming a little easier each time I do this. We got Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday will be the 2 hour deal with the Balers and stuff. So sometimes this takes a while for everybody to load in. I don't know how YouTube notifies you guys when I'm on, but my wife tries to share the links, let you guys know when I'm here. So I'm waiting for some questions, guys. Again, today, no successful day at New Holland Binghamton. Big shout out to Chip Hollenbach, Jerry, and Charlie. Good team. I mean, we're really turning things around. Long road ahead, but it's getting easier and easier every day. So this gets awkward each time I do these. I feel like I'm kind of like having an interview with myself until you guys start posting comments and questions and stuff. It's awkward, but I think I'll be fine. I think last night it was like probably 5 minutes, 6 minutes into it before we started getting like a good crowd in. Um, yeah. Today was really rainy, sleety, kind of miserable. Um, I sorted some more parts out in a shop up there, waiting on a seal for a John Deere baler, and just frustrating. Got a aftermarket Chinese seal and put it on a brand new shaft, and the baler's just sitting in the shop and it started leaking oil. So very depressing. So very depressing. So so I wanted to see how everybody's doing tonight. If anybody had any major questions, like I said, this is just test runs, guys. I'm trying to get used to how using the iPad to look at the comments, trying to focus forward. Um, you guys have asked some really good questions moving forward. Trying to give this an ability for you guys to connect with me closer, to get some tips, tricks, or if you got questions, maybe I can walk you through it, on here. It's going to be a lot easier when I'm actually physically in the shop, probably doing this. We're just tentatively trying this every night till I start it, what I thought would be every Sunday night. So we'll work on it from there and move forward. So. See, we got one more person that came on. This is awkward. I wish I really knew how this really works. I don't know how they set up links. I don't know how any of this stuff goes. I see you got a few more people on. We're just waiting for some more to load in. We just posted some links in YouTube, so, or I think in Facebook, so there should be some more people coming on. Thank you. It's my wonderful wife, Rachel. She's probably watching me to make her say I don't say any bad things about her. So, you're awesome, honey. Thank you. I'm just checking a couple Facebook pages, make sure we got stuff going on. Remember, guys, we got a couple groups on Facebook. Hey Baler Repair videos and discussion. As if you see that, well, it's probably backwards on there, but yeah, that's the site. And Hey Baler Nation are two sites that you can go log on to. Wait, a few more people coming on. I'm starting a little earlier. I usually start 7, 8 o'clock. And I decided to start a little early tonight to get in, so maybe catch up people that, you know. I know my friend Andrew from Australia is probably going to jump on. He's interesting. He's looking at a number 55 International with the Cub motor on it. So really surprising. It's a nice looking baler, and I think Andrew will do well with it. So probably have to walk him through how to adjust it in and get it dialed in so it comes out to be a really good baler for him. Ran some balers today. I'm thinking about, I gotta do a video on, I'm gonna change a 214 wire tie over to twine tie, so that'll make things quite a bit interesting. So we're just waiting before we get started here. We are 6:57, 7 o'clock is when I usually things get wound up. So if anybody got any questions, please ask. It's kind of weird. I'm kind of like crouching over the window here, and there's some people popping on, popping off. I mean, it's not a great night tonight, Thursday nights, but I'm here just trying to work through some things, guys, see how this program's going to work, how the setup's going to be. Got a couple more people logged in. If you got any questions, please ask. Remember, I'm trying this out. I'm doing these logins every night. I'm probably going to do a little earlier if I get home early enough to catch some different audience people. I'm probably not going to go later because I do get up pretty early in the morning to start my day. So if anybody's got any questions on Hey Baler or Hey Tools, please put your, go right down in the comments and send me your questions. We'll get a couple more people logged in here. I kind of kick things off right around 7 o'clock, maybe a little after. Last night it was an hour and 45 minutes. I think we went going over topics of balers, baler twine, clover twine. I'm hoping the gentleman logs in tonight and gives us a little update on that clover baler twine that he was talking about in Vermont. So Really intrigued to find out if that's still available or not, or able to actually get it. It'd be interesting to see what baler twine manufacturers are offered in different areas of the country or around the world. I don't know if Tyrite is like worldwide or not, but it's one of my favorites. I like their materials. They make a pretty good product. So, let's see, we got a couple more people here. There's two. We have some people logging in and out. Maybe the internet's not as good tonight, guys. I don't know. So let me know if you can hear me or you can't. I know last night we lost sound. I don't know why. Maybe because it was the internet. I don't know if the phone glitched or what happened. You could see me, but you couldn't hear me. So, Cherry Coke Zero, one of my favorite beverages so far. Hey, Joseph. How are you doing? I think. Were you here last night or the night before? Is this your first time on a live chat? Okay. Well, do you have any questions, Joseph? We'll get things kicked off a little bit here. I started pretty early tonight, but let's. You have anything on your mind you wanted me to ask me? Um, yeah, 14T would be a great choice. 24T. I mean, the A is a good horse tractor. I mean, you pretty much any spectrum in there. I mean, you can pick a New Holland, an International, an Oliver. I mean, whatever your preference is. But if you want to, keep with the same vintage, I would say 14T is a good choice. 24T would be a little out of that vintage, but not much. And or you could get a 214, which seems to be everybody's popular model baler. So there's lots of them out there. I have carry a lot of the parts for those balers. I got lots of pickup bands, pickup teeth. It's usually a lot of the stuff that goes wrong with them. So anybody else I see? Got a few more people on. Who's all out there and where are you from? You have to forgive me. I keep looking sideways because I have an iPad. So I have to look. You guys comment. I look on it's to the left of me, but it looks like to the right to you. But I look at the questions you ask and your responses, and then I respond back to them. Like I said, it's kind of a work in progress. I'm really haven't figured out how this works or how it would work better. It's gonna be interesting to try to do it in the shop. I'm gonna have somebody, record me while I'm doing it and show some of the things. I want to do some more shop talk, walk people through their adjustments and stuff on their balers, make it kind of into a classroom. I guess a virtual classroom, if you want to call that. So eventually, I'd like to do that because a lot of people can't make it out to my baler classes, which are absolutely free. Try to do them spring and fall, and just do it for free, just to help people out so they can learn how to work on their own balers. Well, waiting for a few more people to log on. Yeah, just drop a line, guys. What I asked earlier is there anybody out there that has a favorite baler twine or a manufacturer of baler twine that they have a preference over? Trying to find out. Like I said, I'm a Tyrite man, so. Well, howdy. I think you're probably new to the live chat, unless you joined in late yesterday, which I lost sound. So please, guys, message back and forth. Let me know if there's no sound. I don't know what happened yesterday, but the sound just kind of cut out. Might be internet, might be me. I don't know. Like I said, this is a new deal for me. I'm trying to figure out how this all works. But if you guys have baler questions, please ask them. or any questions in general about haying, hay balers, hay tools. We had a large discussion a couple nights ago for baler twine. What I recommend, and it's not always about what I recommend, guys. It's what works for you. A lot of guys have good luck with certain brands of twine. I know the ones I run, and they seem to be consistent every year. They could surprise me and be good for 5 years, and make a really bad batch of twine in 6 years. So, where are you from, Ryan? What store are you buying it at, Ryan? That'd be the better question. You're in Maine, New York. You're in my territory. I'm an Arcusan dealer, so Ryan, if you guys would like to get on the schedule this year for a demo of an Arcusan bale bundler, or some farms that do, please shoot me a message, contact me. Our business line is 607-846-5959. Again, that phone number is 607-846-5959. And that is a cell phone, so you can text it, call it, leave a message, or send pictures if you got something that's broke. But we'd really like to get up in the Maine area with the Arcusan bale bundler and do some demos up there so everybody can see what kind of product we got. How far are you from my local hometown farm supply store? Are you talking Tractor Supply, Ryan, for the baler twine? So, I know my videos are delayed. Like when I talk on here, guys, on the phone, it takes a while for it to come through on the other end. I don't know if it's the lag I'm experiencing, but Paris Farmers Union. I'm going to look that up. Is it their brand of twine, or is it, or is it just a pallet of twine they bring in that they order? Because some co-ops and stuff have twine made with their name on it. So, I mean, we go down south. We go to Tennessee, and there's Rural King. There's Maynard's. There's one more. I can't remember the name of it. It was out in Oxford, Iowa. Right. Oh, really? That's kind of neat. Now, do you run sisal or plastic? And what footage and what strength are you running for your twine? On the sisal, it's 9,000, 7,200. Could be 10,000. I haven't seen it in a while, but it doesn't mean it's still out there. And the plastic would be like 9,600, 210, 9,600, 190, 9,600, 170, and yeah, it's not a bad twine. I mean, we were talking last night. There's a gentleman from Vermont that was on last night talking about that. The twine I used to like a lot was Clover. Clover made a good, really consistent twine. They treated it well for anti-rodent resistance, so the rodents wouldn't chew it up. But it was really good, consistent twine. And the gentleman said in Vermont he was able to still get it. So I'm hoping he logs on tonight. We can get a name, maybe a manufacturer name off it and where it's coming from, because I might actually order some of that to have on hand. Because some of the twine I've tested doesn't test good at all. Does anybody else got any questions? How many acres you baling, Ryan? And guys, and like I said, remember, I am now working at a New Holland dealership. So, I work at New Holland, Binghamton, and right off Old Vestal Road in Binghamton, New York. So, if you want to stop in and visit, I'm usually there, unless I'm out running errands or out on a road call. But I haven't had any road calls yet. I'm trying to get things up to par. Oh, wow. Were you working for a custom operator before, Ryan? It's really interesting meeting a lot of small farms. This is what I'm here for, guys. I'm not here for the giant farms and stuff like that. I'm here for the little guys. I mean, I've been here for the little guys forever. I'm a little guy. I bale a little bit of hay, but most of my baling takes place because I test balers. You fix them, take them to the field and test them, dial them in, get them spot on. I think we got, I don't know, 2 jerseys left and 1 beef steer. Which with my traveling is kind of hard, guys. So, like I said, this probably be my last year having animals because I think I can just buy a finished steer off of a farmer and take it to the butcher shop and get it processed. I keep looking over here on my iPad. I don't know how bad the service is lacking tonight, or how, I guess, I don't know if it's if the internet's that slow. Just went from helping my cousin that bought my grandparents' farm to helping my dad do his little 4 acres. I decided in high school I wanted to farm, so I started last year. Wow, congrats, bud. You're one of the very few that decide to jump into doing something like this. That's amazing. That is truly amazing. Well, I wish you luck. It's usually takes an outside job to support a hobby farm or to keep things going. But I don't know. I keep hearing how great chicken eggs are bringing at the market. So I guess if you're a chicken farmer, I guess you can buy gold chains and stuff. I don't know. All the memes out there about how chicken farmers are making it big right now. It's kind of funny in a way, but I don't know. It's different, definitely different. Wow, that's really nice. Well, keep me in mind, brother, if you have trouble with your baler. Like I said, I'd be more than happy to help you. Is there anybody else got any questions, about the make and model of your baler? Any adjustments? We did a little talking about hay rakes the other night. There's previous videos are all uploaded, guys. Excuse me. I'm a little lacking on sleep, running late hours, going in early, running late. So forgive me. I should be well rested when I do these. But I do my best work sometimes when I'm tired and like I said, I'm on my last leg and I'm trying to get the last machine back in the field and running. So that's just how my life goes. I'm going to be offering more aftermarket parts this year, guys. I don't know what's new in the pipeline. So we will eventually. I got another comment. I have it's a rebuild kit for the 273 knotters. It's new pinion gears, new bill hook, new wiper arm. It comes with a brand new knife on it. Kind of freshens that knotter up real good. I think if I remember right, I think it's $450, but I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. And that'll give you everything you need to get that knotter spiffed back up again. The biggest thing is before we sell you that kit, we like to have pictures of the knotter cam itself. And if you're having a problem with banana bales and light hay, we do have an update for that. The feed system, new aluminum tines that are curved better. And we have an adjustable bracket that pulls I call it the go-kart track or the sled back and forth that feeds the hay into the chamber. There's some adjustments there now, aftermarket. So just let me know what pieces you need or what you want to do. But the 273 is a good baler. In our area, they weren't the greatest because guys around here like to make monster windrows. And boy, when you plug one of them up, there's just no room to work. Trying to get the bale chamber cleaned out. And a lot of guys went back to the 311s, 316s, 326s. They're really popular in this area. And probably some of my, anti-auger New Holland balers are probably some of my favorites. 311, 316, The 326 is I'd call it the godfather of balers. And then you had your new generations come in, your 565s, 570s, 575s, and New Holland really hasn't done much to them. I mean, they put some more fancy features on them, but they keep giving them different numbers as they move up through. They keep making the balers lighter, which I'm not a big fan of because they just wear out quicker. But like I said, definitely my favorite balers, and I could dial them in really good, even second cutting to first cutting, is that 311, 316, and the 326. You know, I do still have good luck with 68, 69 hay liner, the 78, because we have some new updates for them to feed hay better and make a better formation to bale. We haven't been able to run. Found out the knotter frame was cracked. Got the frame. Just need a minute and warmer weather to put the new one on. Get it ready for this year. Just measure your shafts. I can get you the bearings for your thrower. It's either 1.25 inches or 1 inch shaft. I think it's gonna be 1.25 inches because I think that's a 54A or 53A. I can't remember. I'm not up on my kicker models for New Holland balers, but yeah, I do have some aftermarket belts for them. I do have updated shafts. Like, they're always noted with the weight of the flywheel. The roller inside there will break loose, and it'll start wandering, and, you know, the center shaft breaks loose the thing. 54A, good kicker. But, yeah, just measure your shaft on the end. Take a tape measure, go across the shaft. It should be, I think it's probably 1.25 inches. Let me know how many bearings you need, and I can get them for you. I have an aftermarket source for bearings. I don't think bearings gone up much. We had an increase a year ago, but we haven't seen an increase yet again. But usually get my hands on all that stuff. Okay, Andrew. Hey, my Aussie brother. How are you doing? The 55. So I have one that's PTO drive. It's not motor drive. My 50 is a motor drive. The 55 is basically the same knotter as the 45. Not much difference. The same as the 56, 57. They did use a different twine disc on there. Oh, you're so welcome, Ryan. It's great seeing you. Remember, we got the business line. If you want to call to order the parts and get pricing, it's 607-846-5959. That again is 607-846-5959. And the 55, I haven't gotten into the field yet, Andrew. I mean, I played with it a little bit, baling stationary, but I don't see much difference other than I wouldn't run the baler faster than 50 strokes a minute, because they don't have an actual arm that pulls the needles up. They got that goofy cam track, you know, so it runs. If you notice, the track turns and it pulls the needles up in and out. If you run that kind of fast, it has a tendency to crack the drive gear on the other end of the knotter, the bell. It tends to split that, and they did that with a 45 a lot. If we tried pushing them, and you say you had a little bit of binding going on, like that roller in there wasn't getting enough lubrication. So I don't know if I'm a big fan of that setup, but I just keep your plunger strokes down a little bit. The baler will eat a lot of hay, even at slow speeds, but just make sure someone hasn't played with the governor on the motor, because I see you sent a picture and it has a motor on it. A lot of people play with the governor to get more speed out of them, but there's a downfall to that. I mean, international, the early ones really like that 400, you know, if you had a PTO on a tractor, 400 to 450 seems to be the sweet spot for the early international balers. But once you get into the, you know, 46s, 56, 37, 47, 57s, they eliminated that. I can't tell you what they called it, but the roller that actuates the arm to pull the needles up runs in a cam track. It's like it's got its own little track like a pickup head would have, that tells it when to come up and when to drop out. And later models, you know, have the arm on the side that just pull the needles up in and drop them back out like the rest of the balers do now. So I don't know. I'd like to get mine in the field and see what it actually do. The knives on mine look like they've eaten a lot of like tedder teeth or rake teeth, because they got big chips and chunks into them. Oh boy, Ryan, that's oh wow. Roger Cords, if he's on here tonight or if his wife is, that man knows a lot about roto balers. I know how kind of know how to fix them, but I haven't touched one in literally probably 15, 16 years. So they were kind of prevalent around the most guys had one that worked or it didn't. So and a lot of guys like to pair them up with a WD or WD 45. You know, so there seem to be there's a lot at the farm shows, but not a lot of guys are running them. Any other questions anybody got? And how's the weather in Australia, Andrew? Since we got you on here, we got ourselves an Aussie in the group tonight. And guys, there was a gentleman. I don't know if he made it on yet. This is our fourth video. Patch Hendricks, great guy, down in Maryland. He sells bale skis, and if you're close by or if he's in the area, he'll come help you install them as well. They make a great improvement to a lot of balers, bale formation. Helps cure a lot of tying issues. So, and it takes the wear off the baler. So if you got antique balers, it's probably a good thing to put the bale skis in them. And you're just going to protect that steel because it ain't like they're going to make any more of those. So, and they're not hard to install at all. So, I don't know if Patch can give a shout out here. Patch, if you can give a phone number or some contact info. I'm going to try to get some cards made up, guys. So as I'm doing these videos, I'll read off some phone numbers for you so you can go back and call these guys. There's probably dealers that sell bale skis, but it's kind of nice to deal with a person that's like directly connected to the company because the guy's going to help you more. He's going to be more detailed about how to get them in and direct you how to install them properly and how to set them up. If you go to most of these dealers now, they just like, oh, here it is, kit, see you later. They hand you a piece of paper. Not much personal contact there. Patch is a great guy. He will definitely walk you through and how to install these things, and he'll get you the right bale skis for the right application that you're doing. He also sells them for the big square balers. And I know I helped them get started. They offer them now the bale skis for the 14T John Deere balers. So it was just a matter of measuring the chamber and getting them all set up. Actually, on Dad's 14T, we are at wit's end with trying to figure out why it won't tie anymore. Worked good, then just didn't tie anymore. I'm pretty sure 14Ts are noted for the bending the tucker finger shaft. There's a video on my page. If you go down, and it's going to be a ways, it's probably going to be on the 14T area, by a John Deere 14T inspection video, and I'm pretty sure your tucker finger is probably bent. That is like the number one culprit for 14T balers, and they are not fun to change. I just uploaded some 14T videos on how to change that tucker finger shaft. We now have new aftermarket ones. But that's usually the culprit. I mean, 14Ts, that's like 90% of their tying problems. If it ain't something obviously broke or a broken knotter, it's always the tucker finger control shaft. It twists out of shape, and the 14T is really touchy about those tucker fingers being timed perfectly, So if you get one that's tweaked out a little bit, and like I said, it happens so easy on them because their tucker fingers bolt to the bale chamber and they have a bushing in there, and that always corrodes up, and then somebody will trip it and that finger can't move. So what it does, it just bends that little control arm because it's just soft grade steel. It's nothing hard. So, but yeah, Ryan, you're welcome. Like I said, call that number, send some pictures. If you do a video of the knotters, I'll take a look at the video and I could probably point you to the problem you're having. The phone number for our parts line is 607-846-5959. That is now a cell phone, guys. Rings in, you get my wife, our secretary Stephanie, or me. So again, that phone number is 607-846-5959. And I've seen a question pop up, so What's going on with the Massey 124? They usually are decent, but the problem with the 120s, 124 Masseys and the newer ones on up from there is not the inlines. We're talking still the side pole balers. The knotter parts are really, really expensive for them. You got that bill hook that has the spring inside the bill hook that pulls the jaw shut, and it's not. They work good when they work, but when things go wrong, they go wrong, and it gets expensive fast. I don't know what the price of a new bill hook is for one of them. I have not bought one in a while, but if you're talking an earlier Massey like a number 3, 9, 10, or 12, they're a great baler. Farmer T, where are you from? So it takes a while, guys, because I'll ask a question, and I know it takes a while to respond. I think Farmer T's new to the channel. Like I said, this is just a test run, guys. This is day number 4. Really? Was it from Weaver, or was it from Agritier, which they merged now? I had some friends, a bunch of people wanted to see the videos live, guys. A lot of people don't. If you don't have an account, I guess you don't get to watch the live video, but once it uploads, then you can watch it over and over again. But I'm no God, sir. The God that I worship and serve is way above me. So I don't consider myself above anybody. There's lots of people that can do this job. I just keep asking myself, where are they? Direct shipped it for me. I probably is going to bet you if it came from Pennsylvania, it's probably going to be Weaver. They kept quite a bit of older stock Massey parts, more than likely. And the question of God to the baler world, I mean, I guess I work on more balers than anybody else does. So it doesn't make me a no God by any means. It just gives me a lot more information about them. And so far, in the last 35 years, or no, they're going on 34 years. I haven't had a baler I haven't been able to fix yet. I don't understand what you're saying. Tried several times to ask for device, but you insisted that there were so many people asking and begging. Oh, advice. Um, Sorry you feel that way, but like I said, this is why I'm doing these videos. I can't take 80, 90 phone calls a day and get back to everybody. So, and obviously the people that are ordering parts take precedence over a lot of it. So, I mean, I guess my reputation precedes myself, because it's pretty sad when I'm the only guy now that I'm at New Holland Binghamton, and we've got balers coming in from other dealers to get fixed. So I don't know why everybody brings them to me, because actually when they're done, they actually work. So, if you bring balers to me, it's a lot easier. I mean, I'm now in New Holland Binghamton, and it's Old Vestal Road in Vestal, but I don't know why they called it New Holland Binghamton, but I work there now, and like I said, we're getting lots of balers in now. I got a John Deere 346 we're going through in the shop, which probably Sunday will be the one we go over the topic. So, okay, that's not uncommon. I had a gentleman wait 2 months for me to get to him. You know, like I said, if you guys want quicker service from me, and this is why I'm doing the videos, there's lots of them being uploaded all the time now. I can't be everywhere. I mean, everybody can go learn what I learn. They can literally, there's lots of people out there. I hear them all the time, but nobody's traveling. Nobody's doing what I do. Like right now, we're booked out for 40 people from, we took deposits down. I start and leave second week in March, and I will travel all the way out to North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and I guess we think we got some upper Michigan now too. Well, that's good. About time somebody stepped up, for making parts. Um, I've been doing this way too long, and like I said, I really want to retire, but nobody lets me retire. So really nice that. Hey, brother, how are you doing? Yes, I am. This was something I agreed with my boss to do. My wife pushed me for it to do live videos, talk about the products and stuff and balers, what I run into, what I see, and it really thinks, well, okay, it's been a while. You're welcome. If you know me really well, you should know where I live, and you should be able to stop in and visit anytime. I no idea who you are. Staying out of the snow. Well, it was rainy today, actually. Kind of got some ice. I've been trying to move balers out of our storage yard up to the dealership, and it's not going so well. I don't like towing balers on salty roads or loading them even with salt on the road. So today was kind of difficult because I wanted to move some up, but it didn't work out that way. It's getting, I don't know, hopefully the weather's getting better. I think if I remember right, you're still in Iowa. If I recall from the last couple videos we've done. The parts market, eventually, guys, I don't know if we'll be able to keep the price held where it is on the parts. I keep getting threatened that steel's gone up some more. I don't know why scrap steel doesn't go up, so I don't know why new steel's taking such a jump, but it seems like the world we live in, everything gets more expensive, and everybody's dollars isn't worth as much as it was, 4 or 5 years ago. How far are you from Oxford, Iowa? Got a really good friend out there and helped him with his hay baler day, Bill Stockman. Great guy. But like I said, Oxford, Iowa is like just outside, I think, Iowa State. If I can't remember, or Cedar Rapids. I couldn't remember what town that was. He was close to. But Oxford, Iowa, literally, I'm jump off the 80, and you're like, Bill Stockman's place is like 2 miles right off the beaten path. He still has quite a few balers, guys, but he doesn't have the collection he had before. And I uploaded some videos there of his heydays, and the man had a massive collection of balers, sold them all off at an auction, and he collected a few back. And so, like I said, he had some problems in his family. His wife passed away because of cancer, and it's just been really tough for him. And he's making a bounce back, and he seems to be kind of getting happy again, and he's starting to buy more balers and collect them and stuff. So, and maybe he's going to build up the collection again. But like I said, he had a real good collection of Oliver, Minneapolis Moline. He had a couple cockshut balers. He had a new idea baler, which was that awkward one that had the 45 international needles and knotters on it. So, a Super 77. Well, Ryan, I got lots of them. So, I've got one that was by a local farmer here, Reggie Myers. If there's any really old guys on here, they probably know who that is. So, 4 hours and 46 minutes, 217 miles. Well, So 277 miles. So you're more directly across from St. Paul, Minnesota, if I'm not correct, in Wisconsin. Probably a lot of Jersey farms up in that area, I think, if I remember right. There's a lot of Amish. There's quite a few Mennonites. I dropped off a lot of parts for it'd be he used to own Nelson Parts. Nelson Horning is his name. He's doing Baler, selling Baler parts and stuff now. He sells some parts to greenbalerparts.com. So I remember picking up a truckload of parts, and I was going west to fix stuff, and I dropped off parts for him while I was out there. So quite a community up in there of Milwaukee. Oh, wow. Well, I might actually get to see you because I'm guessing the one gentleman in Michigan says I can cut across Wisconsin at the north part and cross right into Michigan, I guess. So we'll see. He's been asking me for years to go up there and work on a baler for him. So it's interesting to see where you guys are from. But remember, I'm traveling west first, guys, and I got to go south again. I got a lot of balers left to do. Knoxville area, I didn't finish them all there. I got to go to North Carolina. I got some in South Carolina. So I said I'm going to be in the area, but like I said, when I head west, got a lot up in the northeast section to do. Then I'm going to kind of graze south through Missouri. I think I got a couple in Kentucky. So, and I got some people that got balers in their barns they want me to take a look at. So I'll probably have some surprises coming home with me, I guess. I got to pick the best one to bring home because I only got one hitch. So I don't think they're going to allow me to hook two balers tandem to come down the highway. I might get a few tickets. The Deering Nodder. What size is the Nodder shaft on that? I mean, basically, I've put New Holland Nodders on John Deere's, and I put John Deere's on New Holland. It's just getting the Nodder at the correct angle, and long as it fits the Nodder shaft and the cam that's on there that mates to the Nodder, as long as those teeth match the pinion gears you got, you can put a Nodder on anything, technically. You know, the new Nodders are a quarter-inch bigger, so... Really? So, well, is it the all twine Nodders? Oh, it's not. That's interesting because usually the only ones I knew of that had the McCormick Nodders were the 425s, the 428s. Not saying because the castings can be interchanged because when they made the 425, it is a direct copy of a 430 other than they changed a few things on it. The top of the bale chamber would have to be changed to take those, but you could do it if you had it'd be a lot easier if you had a 425 to take the parts off of to change it over on that 435. But have a 435 with an on there, that's a rarity. That'd be the first time I've ever heard of it. But it's not saying it doesn't exist. I mean, International there's some things that I ran into that were just surprising. Like if you guys saw hang on a Bill. So if it might not be the all twine Nodder. Does the Nodder look similar to a 46 or 37 or 47? Because I've had a lot of people because the all twine Nodders weren't. If they get out of adjustment, they're not great at all. And the older Nodders were quite a bit more reliable if you know how to adjust them. So you're welcome to send me a picture of your Nodder. The cell phone here is, we now have a cell phone for our phone line for the business. It's 607-846-5959. Send a picture of it. It is probably all it needs is that Nodder update, which is the razor blade and the heavier twine tension plate, excuse me, that we have made now. And well, that's weird because I have right now I got a 440 in my lot that says all twine stickers on it, but somebody put on Nodders off a 47 on it or a 37. It could be either or. they eliminated the all-twine knotter, even though the baler says that. So it doesn't look like it was done at the factory, but the baler's been outside a lot. It's so rusty, it's hard to tell when it was actually changed over or who did it. So, because the knotters will interchange, they're the same knotters, they're the same shaft. So if you do the whole knotter cluster, because if you unbolt, there's a row of bolts on the outside, unhook your arm, and there's for the feed forks, there's a brace there. You unhook that, and you pull that whole panel out. If you change the end panel, you can throw another set of the older knotters right in it. Oh boy. Oh, Andrew, it's I love Baler, so that's not totally true. Andrew will tell you the update kit, the internationals, once you dial them in, they're spot on. They work really, really, really well. The McCormick Deering knotter is just a New Holland knotter, or we want to be technically correct. It's a Rapsy. Rapsy knotters are the same as a John Deere, Oliver, New Holland. The only thing they did is they changed their pinion gears. They changed enough subtly things on the knotter so they weren't infringing on patent rights or they weren't directly copying it. So, because, I mean, you're talking a couple thousandths on a billhook difference from a New Holland to a John Deere. So, if you're having a bad day, you could pop a New Holland billhook in a John Deere. It's a little loose, but guess what? You can keep baling. On the regular international knotters, yeah, so the bail chamber will be slotted where it pulls the knot off the billhook. If they're sticking on the billhook, that's telling me right there that the twine tension plate is weak, because it needs to hold the twine tight when the twine disc rolls around to cut it. So that's going to be where you're coming from on that. Yeah, they don't have no wiper arm. Andrew, like I said, if you send me a text of your knotters, I'll tell you what they are. There's a casting number on the cam gear that will tell me everything I need to know. That the cam gear is the big dish piece that actually drives all the knotter mechanism on the baler itself. The cams off the early balers fit the later ones, you know. The only difference is on the all twine, remember they had that mechanical knife. Like the knife wasn't stationary like the early balers. So they actually had a ridge on the one cam so it would activate the knife at a certain point during the cycle. So they worked pretty good, but the all twine knotter just seemed like they're supposed to take any kind of twine. It didn't. You had to do a lot of adjustments to make it work. That's one of our issues, is the knot would hold up every once in a while and the knot would pull apart. I'm almost guessing that I think you got two things. I think you got the twine disc retention plate that's not holding the twine, but I'm almost guessing that on the backside of the twine disc, take a look, there's a gear there. Where the worm gear comes on to drive it, there'll be two nuts on there. Make sure that twine disc is in the same position as the knotter next to it that's functioning correctly. If it ain't, you need to break both nuts loose, and the last nut you take loose, take it to the end of the threads so you don't damage the threads, and you tap on that end of the threads on the nut itself, or you can leave the double nut on it. Just make sure the shaft's not sticking out so you damage the threads, and hit it with a hammer. Just tap it quick to see if you can get the gear to pop loose. Sometimes I've had to heat that gear on the end of the twine disc shaft with a little bit of heat, and it pops loose. And then what it does, once that pops, it's just a tapered fit, and it allows you to take and turn that twine disc and get it where you want it. And it might be as simple as that. You just need to adjust that. But remember, make sure you copy the one next to it. So the knotter working, wherever the position is of that twine disc, you want it to be identical to the one that you're having trouble with. Like match it up. But remember, when you go to retighten that gear, you got to figure out a way, and I usually use a couple rags, and I put a screwdriver down in the piece, and I hold it at tension as I tighten that nut back in. Some guys have some good luck with holding the twine disc and using a quick, like, 1/4-inch drive or 3/8 drive impact to really lock that nut on there quick. But if you don't have the double nuts, then you have to shim the worm gear to get the timing, like, precise on that twine disc. But I'm pretty sure, being that somebody, if they're going to put them on there, they had to have updated the twine disc to the double nut that locks that gear onto that shaft of the twine disc. But like I said, you're welcome to send pictures. The new business phone is now a cell phone. So, well, the well, and it makes it kind of well. The problem is it's made to slip. So if you don't keep your knife sharpened on the knotter, that twine disc will build up with string. And I could tell you that'll bind up so tight that that is the reason why they didn't pin the gear through the shaft no more, is because it would actually break the knotter. So now that gear will just slip. It'll just slip on the shaft. Um, but I know some guys that are pretty stubborn and they won't sharpen their knives, or they try to do it manually. It's just the razor blade update, whether you buy it from International, because I think they finally started them, got it back in stock. But their blades are $23 for that little tiny razor blade that goes in there. And the twine tension plate, I don't think they've restocked them yet. And I made my arm so it takes a mini razor blade that you can buy in any hardware store. You buy 5 of them for like $3. And I made the arm so it would take those blades, and all you do is when the tips hang over a little bit, you just snap them off with a pair of pliers so you make the blade the actual original size, and you shim it in, and it works really great. And it's nice because you don't have to buy the parts from me, guys. I want you to be able to go to a hardware store on a Sunday afternoon, Lowe's or anywhere, and buy a miniature mini razor blade and pop it in and keep on baling. So I try to make the parts so you don't have to come back to me. The whole point, I think, of buying parts is like, okay, you buy the part, but the replacement stuff for it, you should be able to get anywheres. So I try to make stuff as simple as I can. Some of them, people that have make stuff for me, like with CNC machines, they think I'm crazy. Like, well, how are you gonna, keep selling these if you're trying to put yourself out of business? I said, well, I'm not putting myself out of business. There's a lot of balers out there. International made a lot of balers. They're a great baler. They're built heavy. They're built rugged. Just the knotter's a little finicky, and once you're dialing in, it's good. Yeah, they were, but it's really weird that International, those blades used to cost like $9-10, and that was like 5 years ago. You call now, maybe it's even more now. C&H seems to be punishing farmers that like red paint. I don't know why, and it'd be great if somebody logged in from C&H and would tell us why, International parts have like tripled in cost and price. It's like you're punishing somebody because they love their International equipment. It's like they're trying to force you to buy a New Holland or buy something they offer parts for at a cheaper price, because there's no reason a tiny razor blade like this should cost $21 to $23. There's no way. When I can get you the same mini blades for like 5 for like $3, and I think it's $2.50 or $3 for a pack. I think Amazon's even cheaper. That there, okay, so the top of the top link on your 435, you got that, comes over, pins on, and then it's got a shaft with a spring on it, and then at the end it has a fork yoke, and it has an adjustment on it. Okay, the sticker on the side of that will tell you not to go past 22 inches. Don't pay attention to it. Adjust that rod out, and what I've done is, the 3 feed forks, you got the short one, looks just like my finger. I adjust them when they go in the grooves like this. I adjust them when those fingers are coming out. They're just missing the side of the frame, and that's when you have it set in the lowest hole. And when you're doing second cutting, that makes a perfectly square bale. And then what you do is, as you get heavier windrows, you just keep moving the pin up the holes on that arm. If I remember right, I think your feed forks have 5 holes in it, 5 adjustment pin holes. And remember, the lowest setting is going to shove the hay all the way to the heavy side of the baler. But I don't know why International put that, don't go over 22 inches on the adjustment. It makes no sense at all, because I've had some of them that I've adjusted to like almost 24. Maybe it's 23 and a half, but it squared up the bales immensely. And another thing you got to do too is, like, the tin from the end of the auger to where the feed forks pull in, you need to sand that. I take a DA sander to a lot of Internationals and up the back side of the tin. And for some reason, that seems to be key. Once that's shiny, and just from the end of the flighting of the last flighting of the auger to where the feed forks are, just hit that with a sander, get it really smooth, and it seems to help that hay flow really nice into the chamber. So, I noticed with the 440 wire tie, I got one of those, and it with straw, it bridges there a little bit. And if I go in there and I hit it with the sander a little bit, clean off the rust, and all of a sudden, man, it just starts tying. But yeah, but like I said, you get those what is it? I can't remember what those little sanders that they look like this. They're like a diamond like, and they call them a mouse, I think, or something. I've gotten some 360 grit sandpaper, and all you're going to do is just take off that flaky rust. Remember, you can go under the auger a little bit and go all the way out, and then go up the back of the tin where the stationary knife is. Get that polished up, and then, like I said, when I did the feed forks, I did it when it went down in those rails. When it come back out, at the end of the bale chamber, I adjusted it just so that the end of those fingers that pull the hay in just cleared the end of the grooves on those slots. And then I did that in the bottom hole, and then after that, I locked the jam nut on that fork on the top of the feed forks, and then as I baled heavier windrows, I move it up. So yeah, that's 47s. 47s, I think they're already preset at like 23 inches from pin to pin. I can't remember, but 46 has got a long throw. I don't know why International came out with it or who put that on there that, you can only go to 22 inches. You can go as far as you want as long as when the forks are coming out of the chamber, they're not actually hitting any steel, like, on their full stroke. So oh wow. So that's a Farmer T. I'm telling you what, that's a low use baler. So yeah, if you notice with the International guys, they have an immense appetite. It doesn't matter if it's a 46 on up, and as you notice, it really doesn't labor the tractor that hard. And the balers are built really rugged. I mean, very, very rugged. So, I mean, the only balers that could compare to those International are the early John Deeres and the early New Hollands, because after that, they kind of went tinny. I mean, all these new balers today, you guys look at them. I mean, they're mostly just tin. There's no structural steel to them. 584. Wow, that's a nice tractor. Neighbor had a 574. I liked it a lot. Oh God, Leonard. They suck, literally. Now they put teeth into an International baler. God, a 46. I haven't put teeth in a 46 in like 8 years. Now, if you told me the 440s, you can almost unbolt the band from the back, and I usually slide 2 or 3 off to the side. The Hydro 84, I don't know if I recognize that number. We had a few Hydro 100s around here and a lot of 656 Hydros. So, I got a couple questions here. Any tips on running a sickle bar mower and setting a side delivery rake up? Getting ready to do my first hay season equipment. Dear drummer, sickle bar mowers, some guys, the long guards, the problem with the long guards is when you go through grass that's kind of tangled up, they plug up. A lot of guys are putting stub guards on them. You get them at your, you can buy them aftermarket. I think Shoop carries them. And I've heard some guys say they're like underserrated knives, overserrated. It's your preference. I like the tiger teeth knives. They're really aggressive. They seem to last a while. But with the stub guard, the knife sticks out past the end of the guard, so it keeps it clean. And they seem to mow nice, and it actually mows through its own windrow real nice if you don't happen to get the bar up quick enough. And I really love I don't know if anybody owns one on here, please tell me, the new sickle bars that the Amish offer. They're like a double cutter bar. There's like 2 sets of knives. There's no guards. I was impressed when I first saw one. A guy was pulling it with a team of horses, and he was going through alfalfa that was down. Like, it was totally down, and he was cutting it clean off the ground. And if anybody's owned a sickle bar hay bind, they know how much fun that is. Like when you got alfalfa that's laying flat and you're trying to go up against it. So I'm going to read a few more of these comments. I have to look away because this is what I look at. Your comments, and I try to answer as many people as I can. So let's see what we got here. It was a Hydro 84. H and 47, good baler, no thrower. Same as a 584, just Hydro. Wow. Okay. Did not know that. Thank you for that information. Hydro 84 would make a wonderful hand tractor. Guys, I like the 656, but the neighbor had one, and I don't know why. He had some trouble with the Hydro in it. He never did field work with it. Like, he just mowed hay and baled hay with it, but it had issues with the Hydro. I don't know what took place or anything, but it seemed like the Hydro 100s around us seemed to not have many troubles at all. And we had a farmer friend of ours, Donnie Faber. Probably nobody knows this guy, but great farmer. He had a 1026 Hydro. I absolutely loved hauling wagons with that tractor. So it was like the brake pedals were hardly ever touched on it. It was just one of my favorite tractors to run was that 1026 Hydro. Oh, I helped the neighbor mow with a sickle bar. Yeah, do you know the Farmer T? Do you know the make of that mower? Because I was intrigued. Because I was in Lancaster, and I've never seen anything like it. And it has a clutch system, and like I said, both both knives go over top of each other. There's no guards to it, and it was amazing to watch it mow hay. It really was. I mean, I was amazed that the horses were able to pull that thing through such heavy hay like that, and it was alfalfa that was down. Comment on here, good for making hay, loading manure. Okay. PayQ. Well, Brett, I agree with you. I was just starting out fixing balers. I didn't have a lot of money, and that tractor went to sale, and it sold for $8,000. And it only had 3,900 hours on it. But you got to remember, when I started, it was, I think I was 1994, 95. And, I really love the tractor a lot. It was a great tractor. I'd love to find one, but I saw one, and I don't know if the guy still got it. It had gold fenders. I think he painted it that way. It had a gold hood and gold fenders on it. So never seen a tractor. I think he painted it that way. I'm not sure. Maybe it was something International offered, but yeah, it's a 1026 and had gold fenders on it. So, or gold color. It's kind of faded a little bit, but I I don't know. I don't know a lot about the tractor side of things. I'm mostly on the hay tool side of stuff. PayQ. Yep, Farmer T got it right. I have a PayQ inverter, so they do build quality stuff. I just didn't know they built that cutter bar, so I would definitely be intrigued to get one. Oh, the gold fenders was a demonstrator. Okay, I did not know that. I thought they were probably white like the International balers were, 37, 47, 46. Does anybody on here have a demonstrator baler? Really? I didn't know that. So what's that tractor worth? I mean, it's got 8,600 hours on it. And like I said, I've seen it a couple times. They brush hog with it once in a while. That's it. So it's a 1026 gold tractor, I guess, gold fenders, gold hood. But what's it worth with like almost 9,000 hours on it? The tires are pretty rough on it. I don't know what a good price would be on something like that. I'm not a tractor guy. I'm more of the baler guy. Wow, that's cool. 47 demonstrator. If you're in New York, anybody in New York, just letting you know, somewhere's out towards Dansville, New York, there's a 46 or it might be a 37 demonstrator on Marketplace for sale on Facebook Marketplace. I think it's Dansville, New York. Makes somebody a great baler. The guy says it works. Probably would just need the Nodder update kit in it, and I think it would probably go to work for you. Be a nice little baler. Painted white for a promo in the 1950s. Cool. Those tractors were sent back and repainted red. Holy cow. That's pretty good money. But I'm not surprised. I mean, have you guys seen the everybody's complaining about like they can't buy cheap balers much anymore. Well, the price of scrap is up a little bit. Parts are hard to come by, so a lot of these places are probably parting them out. Um, and the price of tractors, if you guys have seen, I saw a 4455 brought 65 grand at an auction, and it had over 10,000 hours on it, but it was well kept, looked nice, had, you know, four-wheel drive sound guard cab, full weights on it, had duals. I was just shocked at the price. I mean, that brought more than it had a 6420 there, and I just couldn't believe it. That's actually a pretty good deal, really, for that package deal like that. The 990 Haybine is like, just to tell you, that's one of my favorites. I mean, New Holland has a decent Haybine, but for all the ones that I've been around all my life, I love a 990. They're a great, great machine. The gold demos bring big bucks. Oh, wow. Well, I guess I'm not going to ask for the guy to give me a price then. Wow. Did that have the 282 diesel in it? The 656? Or was it a gasser? I was always curious if they ever actually made a gas tractor with a hydro, or if it was all, they were all diesels. Did not know that. This is interesting. Really? Wonder how that held up. I mean, I've seen the 282s in a lot of tractors, like 656, 560s. This was a diesel. Wow. Narrow front, though. Imagine backing wagons in with that, guys. That would be sweet, especially being a hydro. How many of us have rode the clutch trying to back a full wagon load of hay up into the barn, up a ramp? That's always fun. Yeah, but guys, like I said, we're gonna be making more parts this year. If you got any recommendations, I've already took down. We're now making 14T needles, 24T. I'm trying to do an international needle, so. Oh wow, Hydro 86. That I just like the bale with the Hydro altogether. But my favorite yard tractor is, and it's not a Hydro, it's a Farmall 200. And I usually have a Super C. And the reason is, guys, is I love the fast hitch drawbar. I don't have to have a jack. I got a draw pin with a piece of rebar, or it's actually threaded rod hooked to it. And I drop the pin into the balers, pull them into the shop, and I set them up to run on that tractor. It's, like I said, it's, of all the international tractors I've owned, that thing is like, it just gives it its all every time you use it. So. Cool. Yeah, it's international is a really strange baler. They have a large capacity. They kind of fool you, you know, because you get a lot of the New Holland guys will tell you, well, hey, I can run circles around you. I don't know. There's some guys with some internationals. I seen the 445, and that's the beast of the beast for international balers. And he was eating some pretty good sized windrows, and he wasn't slowing down. I think he had a bale in the air every, I want to say every 5 seconds. There was a bale coming out of that baler maybe every 6 seconds. He was really pushing it. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I would have to agree. I got to watch myself here. I got a bunch of New Holland fans. I like New Hollands, but I like the older balers. I like the Super 77, the 77. So, guys, you guys want a baler that, like, you don't have to work on much. 77, the original 77, is a non-timing baler. That means the chain falls off the nodder. You just put it on, and the baler times itself. It'll boom. You don't have to worry about it being out of time. It's an amazing machine. They're really easy to adjust. Problem is, you get two bale sizes. You get 4-footers, and you get two, like, just over 2.5-foot bales. That's it. There's a little gear you change in there, and that's the only bales you can get out of it. Makes a little bit bigger bale, but the knotters are flawless on them. New Holland 505. Are you talking a 565? Type. Wow, 273s. There's a lot of them out there, guys. I think New Holland made, if I remember right, if I saw the production numbers, there's close to 100,000 of those 273s out there. There's a lot of them. A lot of them. The only other baler that was made just about as much was the 77 New Holland. There's 69,000 of those made. Super 77s, I think, are 28 or 26,000. Yeah, 273, I think, is the most made baler by New Holland ever. Oh, okay. Like I said, I didn't recognize that number. The three-tie balers I'm used to with New Holland, guys, are the 99 New Holland. If you look it up, it's also a beast. It's a 19 by 24 inch bale. So 3 wires. The one I had was wire tie. You could change it to twine, but yeah, West Coast. I can't believe New Holland really is in the 3-wire bale market much because Freeman seems to be the king of the crop for 3-wire balers, like high capacity baling. So, pretty sure everybody's heard of a Freeman baler. I've only worked on a couple in my life, so they really don't give much trouble, I don't think. So they seem to be a pretty reliable machine. Wow. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Oh wow. Yeah, I hope somebody reads that comment. Farmer T said spent a lot of time stacking behind that machine, which is the 273. Speaking of, Dad would never buy a kicker. He said he didn't need a kicker. He has he has kids and a big enough grocery bill. He couldn't afford one, and it's laughing out loud. That's funny. We were growing up, we dropped our bales on the ground, and my mom would help us. We'd roll them into piles, and then we'd throw them on a truck, And my brother Tim would it was a game between him and my brother Chuck who could throw it up the truck the highest, just insanity, If we had one flatbed wagon or a kicker wagon, we'd probably be a lot easier or probably a lot less beat up today. But the things you do when you're living in a big family. Guys, on baler twine, like I said, if you're setting up international balers, it's just right off the topic. Sissel's okay, but if you really want an international to work good, the twine that seems to work the best is the 9600 170 or the 9600 210. And you can buy those. So the 9600 comes in 2 balls in a bale, and you can buy the longer footage, which would be a 6,000 foot single ball. And you have to buy 2, obviously, one for each needle. And the 6,000 foot, the nice thing about that is it fits the newer balers really well. It does not fit the internationals that well. They like the shorter roll, which is the 9600. So yeah, it would run that thing with a WD. Wow, the WD is I kind of like those tractors. They're nice, real running tractors. I remember Mom asking one day why can't. It was something. Well, maybe, I don't know. My dad, one time, our tractors, we lost our 2-cylinder John Deere at some intermittent pump off the governor shaft broke. And I remember Dad, the 200 was giving fits, his 200 wide front end. Couldn't keep it running. It was something to do with the carburetor. So we had a baler, a Super 77 New Holland with a Wisconsin motor on it, and my dad bailed with a pickup truck. Well, the truck he used, and he put it in 4-low, had air conditioning in it, and conveniently he finished baling and he went around the field picking up little scraps of hay here and there while we were all loading trucks. So the other trucks. So yeah, kind of, he told my mom. My mom's like, well, I can run that baler with that. He's like, Dad kind of gave the same excuse too. He's like, well, it's kind of complicated if something goes wrong, so. Wow, that's something. The flywheel broke off the gearbox. Wow. Wow. That's something. But no, guys, if you guys got any more questions, but please send me some pictures of your balers, like I said, I'll try to have Rachel forward them to me. So, um, a lot of it, we have the cell phone. We're going to try to do some like interactive stuff on Sundays. Oh, wow, they're a nice baler. So we're going to, with that, so we're getting a lot more pictures coming in. We're going to try to do, probably get an iPad for the business phone now. The phone number again is 607-846-5959. And you can send text message your pictures there to the balers. If you guys got a favorite baler, if you guys send it to there, to that phone number, we'll try to upload it to Hey Baler Nation. So we're going to start here. I usually start switching the profile picture, usually every day here coming up in either March or April, just in honor of all the guys, different balers that are out there. So, oh, wow. Nice. Yeah, the problem is, guys, if I get caught watching videos on YouTube, I get kind of, I get the evil look, like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be spending time with your family. You get enough of balers during the day and you watch them at night. I enjoy watching any baler. It doesn't matter. So, the ones that fascinate me the most are the older ones, because it's all think about it, those balers were built with no computers, guys. It's really amazing all the stuff they did to make these things work the way they did. So, does anybody else got any other questions about makes and models of balers? Been a really good chat, guys. Tomorrow night I'll be starting around probably around 6:30, probably around 7. When I get back, I get out of the shop. So, not really. See, you wouldn't believe it or not, I have a beautiful condition John Deere 224 wire tie. I gave the guy $1,200 for trade-in for it, and that's pretty much what I asked. I back out of it. It's even got a number 30 kicker on it and zero interest in it. I have a couple international wire ties. I'm able to sell the New Holland wire ties, which is strange, or an Oliver wire tie. Don't know why they're popular, but a 116, that would be an antique club. I had a couple looking for them. I don't know their numbers right off the top of my head, but I know one was up towards Rochester, New York, was looking for a 114 or 116. Yeah, it is. That's a weird baler because the pickup head pulls the hay up, and your feed forks literally pull it into the chamber. It's almost like an inline, but the plunger runs the other direction. Does it have the quarter turn chute to run the bale straight back behind the baler? That was kind of a neat thing, too, in its own. Wow. Well, if it's complete, does it have a motor or PTO? So it's probably got, if you look at the Wisconsin motor, it's probably got I want to say a VE4 on it, more than likely. They're not that problematic. I mean, the biggest thing with them is the oil the knotters up really good to get everything freed up, and you got to make the little spools of wire. So I talking to a gentleman today. He was in an old timers group. They had a John Deere 116 that they're running in their group now. And he asked me where he could get the small rolls of wire, and I said, well, there's the guys out west make their own. So, and so you get the spools you get to wrap up your extension cords. So what they did is they took the spool, and the one half he cut it loose, pulled it off, and he put a rod through the center of it. And then he bolts the other piece back on, and then he puts the wire on there and starts it and coils it across, back over, keeps building it up. And you make a small spool of wire out of a big roll of wire. So the secret to them is you got to have 4 spools, 2 spools on the top, 2 spools on the bottom, because those knotters tie kind of like the double knotters do today for twine, is they tie from the top and the bottom. So They're really not that complicated to work on, guys. The biggest thing is lubricity, keeping them really lubed up, because if it's been set in a while, you're gonna have to go through and take apart shafts, clean the rust up, and get them freed up. Because yeah, that nodder is pretty finicky about whether it works or not. Especially when it's kind of rusty and sticky. The other thing I'm looking for is, if you guys are out there, we're looking for a hay press style John Deere baler, whether it be hand tie or if they ever offered one with a nodder on it. I don't know if they did. It'd be a resemblance of the 77 baler, New Holland, but it'd be the John Deere version. It could be a hand tie baler like the Case offered for a long time, but we've been trying to find one for the old timers days around here. So kind of putting that out there, see if anybody can find that. I got a feeling there's one going to be hiding somewheres up north. I'm pretty sure of that. From the looks of it, it looks that there has never been hay through. Well, I mean, I would pull it out. I mean, it's not that complicated. Just make sure the knotters, the twisters are really freed up. And I think I got a couple books, the setup books on the knotters on them. Really? Where's that located at, that auction? Well, I don't want a hay press. This has to be, if you guys have ever seen the videos, it looks like a hay press, but it's got a pickup head on it. So everything's automated on the baler, other than there's a seat on both sides of the bale chamber where guys poke the wires through. And it goes to the field and it bales. Like, you don't have to actually physically fork the hay into the baler. It actually bales like that. Supposedly, John Deere offered that. And somebody said that they offered it with a wire tie nodder on it as well. So it just something to throw out there if somebody could find something like that, or if it even still exists. But I have access to lots of hay presses, so that's not a big deal. But all right, guys, I got a notification here. Wife wants some family time. Great chat with you guys. Remember, tomorrow night I'm going to log in again. Have some great baler questions there. Share, like, and subscribe. Hey, please pass the video along, guys. Tell me what balers. So Saturday night, I want you guys to get a list, and we're going to have a vote. So we're going to vote on a baler that you guys want me to do the following Sunday. And I'm hoping I have it on hand. If not, I could probably call somebody up and borrow theirs. But we're going to do, every Sunday, we're going to try to do a different model baler. And that way I can do a live chat. Someone's going to operate my phone for me while I'm, talking about the baler. And we're going to walk through some things on the balers, guys. I'm trying to decide this Christmas. I think I'm going to offer the nodder adjustment DVD or video for Christmas for international. And I'll probably maybe offer one for New Holland. How to go through and do the adjustments. John Deere nodder DVD. I'm gonna pop it up there on a special day. So if you pay attention to the channel, I'm gonna offer that video one day or a couple days this year. So now I'll only advertise it the day that I'm going to release it, and I'll unlock the video and I'll put it out there for everybody to watch. It's almost 2 hours long. Tells you how to tear apart a John Deere nodder. It's on a 346 John Deere baler, which is the same as the 336. It really don't matter because the nodder's the same from the 14T almost up to the new ones, other than the 8 series balers run that split nodder, where you can take the cap off, take the nodder right out without having to disassemble the whole thing. So, you guys are great. You're awesome. Hey, you guys have a great day. I hope to see you guys tomorrow night. I'll bring some more friends on, some more questions. But remember, Saturday, we're going to have a vote on which baler you guys want me to do after the following Sunday. So I think I'm going to do John Deere this Sunday. I haven't decided if it's going to be in the shop or outside. Well, hey, you guys are all awesome. Hey, it's been a great conversation. I learned a lot about the international tractors. I'm really glad Farmer T brought that up, because I was always wondering, about the 100 Hydro and the 656. And I've heard other Hydro models out there, but it's never saw them, guys. And it's just nice conversation tonight. Hey, love hearing from you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Remember, it's going to be like 6:30. 6:45. I get on. I wait for everybody, at least a crowd, to get on, and talk about hay and farm equipment. So, but like I said, Saturday, we're going to do the vote for what baler you guys want me to do the next following weekend. Something that will obviously help you. So, you guys have a great night. Hope you guys all be good. See you then.